Welcome to Xinhua. I'm Zhou Xuanni with Xinhua News Agency. Right now, we're at Zhejiang County, southwest China's Guizhou province. After over 3 decades of joint research, Shuanghe Cave has become the longest in Asia. And today, we are very honored to have some international researchers of the cave exploration to join us and tell us more details about these mysterious but beautiful caves. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. It's our great honor to have you. Please say hello to our camera and introduce yourself.
I'm Zhou, University of Bologna from Italy, and I'm a geologist.
And could you share us some information about the Shuanghe Cave?
It's a very big cave system.
Yeah.
So it's more than 400 kilometers long, making it the third in the world in length. What is strange in this cave is that it's made not in limestone. No, all caves are in limestone.
Yeah.
This cave is in dolostone. It's very old age. It's an old age rock, and in a tropical climate with a long time, it has had the time to make a very big cave system with a lot of different passages. I mean, here we are in a narrow passage. It's not very big, but many places in Shuanghe are very big. They're amazing. I mean, and you need a lot of time to do 400 kilometers of cave.
Yeah, after you. And I think there are many fascinating points about Shuanghe Cave. During these days of exploration, have you found something new? Do you have some new discoveries or something that impressed you most?
Yeah, impressed, yeah. No, new nothing. I mean, the Chinese colleagues and my French colleagues, they know the places, so they brought me to the places that were most interesting.
Yeah.
And many of the places I've seen now today were characterized by a lot of two minerals, which are not limestone. I mean, this gypsum and celestite. These are very, very rare minerals in the cave, especially celestite.
And so, do you have some new experience during these days exploration in Shuanghe Cave?
They brought me to Guizhou Cave. In one of the branches is full of celestite, which is a blue mineral. It's very rare in caves. You don't find it everywhere. It's one of the few places in the world. So we want to understand why we have this mineral growing on the cave walls, making it blue. It's very interesting.
It's very beautiful, right?
Oh yeah, it's very beautiful. And it's very fragile. It should be protected because these are things that are very old and they take a long time to form. So once they are destroyed, you don't have it anymore.
In your opinion, how can we better protect them? Because they are so fragile.
I mean, you have a very big cave system, but some of the places like these celestite branches are very delicate. There are not a lot of them. So maybe just open one of these for a small part. It's not necessary to go right to the end, which is enough for a visitor to show the blue cave.
Yeah. And since we know Shuanghe Cave is the longest cave in Asia, and it's very complicated to explain its formation of this longest cave. So do you have some explanation about the formation of Shuanghe Cave?
Yeah, I'm starting to understand a little bit, but it will be difficult to know everything. I mean, one thing is time. It probably is a very old cave, so there was a long time for it to be formed, so it can become bigger. The other thing is the tropical climate. It rains a lot, there's a lot of water running through the cracks of the rocks, so it enlarges. And that's the other thing. And one of the new things I have found is that there's minerals inside the rock that probably create acidity, so give the potential to the water to dissolve the rock faster and bigger, making Shuanghe Cave so special. I mean, okay.
So it is very different from other caves around the world. Since you are fascinated with cave exploration, you have been to many caves around the world.
Yeah.
So what makes it so special for Shuanghe Cave?
One is the size, it's big. Two is the dolostone, which is the type of rock. No? Many caves are in limestone. This is dolostone. It's one of the biggest. I mean, and the size of the passages, they are huge, but they are also very small. The mineralogy, So the types of speleothems you have, there's not a lot of speleothems, stalactites, stalagmites, no? But the few you have are very special. And this makes Shuanghe a very interesting place to study.
Yeah. And in this cave exploration, what equipments you have carried into the cave?
It depends. If, like here, we just walk, so you need a helmet and a light.
Yeah.
And an overall, you don't have this.
Yes.
And boots, I don't have these, but anyway. When you go down shafts, so vertical passages, you need ropes, you need vertical equipment, and then it becomes really technical. And being a very big cave, sometimes you need a long time to explore. So sometimes you even need to sleep in the caves because you waste a lot of time just walking to the end of the passage and exploring, then getting out. You can't do this in one day, so you sleep inside. Then becomes quite complicated, yeah.
Yeah, depends on what caves you are going to explore, and you need to carry out different equipment with you.
Yeah, of course.
So during these years, the cave exploration has become more and more popular among China and also around the world. Many people choose to explore the cave because there's mysterious beauty in the cave. So why do you choose to become a caver and to explore those caves around the world?
No, caves are dark places. Even many religions in China, in Europe, everywhere, the cave entrances are seen as something both dangerous. I mean, there's fear. You don't want to go inside. It's dark. You don't know what there is. But we are humans and we are curious, so we want to know what is inside, which is a sort of contrast, no? But that's what makes cavers like. I mean, you see a cave, you see something that no one has ever put a foot inside, and you say, I have to go there. And you prepare yourself, of course, technically and physically, and you go and you explore. And those are the only places on the world in which we really can explore new places. It's places where no one has ever put foot before. Otherwise, you have to go to the moon. In the world, everywhere, people have been, but not in caves. I have more curiosity than fear. I want to know more what is in there than having fear of going there, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what makes cavers. I mean, normal people often have more fear and less curiosity. I have more curiosity and less fear.
So what kind of scientific research you will do in the cave exploration?
It's complicated to explain because there's a lot of chemical and mineralogical analysis we will make. So we take samples which will be analyzed in China. I'm not taking anything to Europe because China has a lot of labs and a lot of good scientists, so I'm just helping them. And through the analysis you can understand the age of the caves, the chemistry of the liquids that were involved, the way in which the cave was formed. And yeah, you have to take a lot of samples in many places to do this, so we will need some time. But it's a big puzzle. You match a lot of pieces and there's still always a lot of pieces missing. But that's what makes it fun. I mean, science is fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very interesting to do the scientific research in the cave. And just now we have visited the fossil of the Chinese big panda. It's really interesting, right?
Oh yeah, you find fossils often in caves. I mean, even the oldest human remains, Australopithecus in South Africa, most of these fossils have been found in caves, because caves are, especially these shafts, they are traps, natural traps. So people can fall inside, animals can fall inside, or even a predator can take a prey, go into the roof of a tree on top of a hole, and then the carcass will fall inside the cave. No, and it's a very conservative environment. So once you fall into a cave, there's nothing that can disturb you, because there's no animals, there's no light, there's no, if you are out of the water, there's no water, no wind, okay? So the remains are very well conserved, which is interesting. This panda fell into the cave, probably, I don't know where, and probably was washed down there and then was fossilized. And maybe it's 3,000 years old, they told me. So 3,000 years ago, there was a big tragical thing that was happening, and we can see this today.
Yeah, it conserved in the cave, and so that we can see it today.
Yeah.
And since you have so many cave exploration experience, what suggestions you will give for those cave enthusiasts?
To create passion. I mean, if you will talk about caves to the people, no?
Yeah.
So if you show nice pictures and nice places, underground places, caves, children will find curiosity in these things.
Yeah.
Will like, okay, these are nice places to be studied. And then there's a lot of teaching to be done at any level, at young boys, middle age, and high schools and universities. The more you talk about caves, the more interesting it becomes.
Yeah.
And people will understand that, in fact, caves are real treasures. There's a lot of things to be known about caves, to be studied in caves, to be seen, and wonderful places to be seen in caves. And that makes curiosity. I mean, show caves are very popular, in China especially, but not only, no? Show caves in Europe, many of the show caves are the places that attract more visitors than any other place. A few museums are very big, but show caves, they have 400,000 visitors every year, meaning a big income, economic business, and talking about caves, making them popular, which is good.
So also in Europe, they have made the cave exploration become a tourist for many people to come to visit and enjoy the beautiful views of the caves.
The easy caves, so the caves without ropes and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And the beautiful ones, they are used as a sort of exposition, natural. So you can bring people inside the cave and talk about caves, because otherwise people wouldn't know about caves, no? They're underground. It's not a mountaintop you can see.
Yeah.
You see Mount Everest is very nice, no? The cave, you don't see this. You have to bring it out. You have to take pictures, you have to explore, mapping, and then you can bring people inside the easy caves to show them the nice places. And that's education. It's important.
Yeah. In your opinion, how can we better utilize and better protect those precious caves, both in China and in other countries around the world?
In general, you need a lot of education, especially in countrysides like here. So you have to make a lot of education at all levels to talk about how fragile these ecosystems are and how important they are for us to keep them as they are.
Is there any mature experience in Europe to better protect those caves?
Yeah, there's a lot of it. But there's a lot of it because we have a long history of cave exploration, cave use and misuse, doing stupid things in caves, and then after you do the stupid things, you understand this was wrong. So we have to make laws and to protect this, because we threw rubbish and then the spring was polluted and we couldn't drink anymore. So that was our fault. We didn't know. Now we know. We don't do this anymore. So this is a sort of experience you make over a long time. But China can be better. I mean, China can learn from Europe and see the mistakes we made many years ago and say we will not make the same mistakes, which would be good.
We can both learn from each other's experiences to better protect those precious caves.
I'm sure. One of the most interesting and important ones that is done by many scientists, not only me, is the reconstruction of climate of the past. Okay, you can use the stalagmites for these, some stalagmites. So I often, if I find broken stalagmites in caves, especially show caves, tourist caves, we can take them, we cut them, and we do analysis on the long axis of the growth of these paleothems. They can be 100,000 years old, so they can be very old.
Yeah.
And if they have grown continuously, you can reconstruct the changes in temperature and rainfall in the region in which the cave is. And this is interesting to know and to predict what will happen in the future.
Yeah.
If it gets warmer, if it will rain more, if it will get colder, we don't know. And we can study the past to think about the future. And that's one of the most interesting researches we can do in the caves today. Go.
Okay, thank you so much. And after so many days of exploration, do you have some scientific goals or purpose that you have to achieve during this exploration?
In this case,
In this cave.
I mean, it's a big cave, so my interest would be to see different parts of the cave system, not all in the same area, but many areas of Shuanghe Cave, and different levels, to have a sort of an idea of the differences between the caves at various places. Because it's very difficult to study a 400-kilometer cave. I can't do these 400 kilometers in 20 days. I will probably do 30 kilometers, I don't know. These have to be representative of the whole cave system. That's my goal. And then I will think about what I've seen and try and understand what happened here in the past. I mean.
Maybe there's more for us to explore and research.
I'm sure. I hope so.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
After so many years of exploration, Shuanghe Cave has attracted so many scientific researchers come to here to find more results and discoveries in this cave. And let's look out and find out more new discoveries they have received during this day's exploration. Let's go. Right now, we are outside the White Cave and we have entered into a show cave for tourists. After a new round of joint exploration of cave, international researchers have found something new and discovered many things in the cave. And today, we are very honored to have Zhou Wenlong, the Vice Director of Guizhou Institute of Mountain Resources, to join us and tell us more about their new discoveries. Mr. Zhou, welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Welcome.
Thank you. And could you tell us something about our new round of joint researches, especially our overall goals of this joint research?
Yes, fortunately, this time we invite international experts about the speleologists to come our Shuanghe Cave. Because Shuanghe Cave is the longest dolomite cave in the world, so it's special because seldom cave development in dolomite cave system is not big, but Shuanghe Cave is the third one. So we just want to know why is the longest dolomite cave system in the world. So we have some research about the gypsum.
Yeah, it's quite a marvelous job you have done here. What's our new discoveries and new research results in this joint expedition?
Okay. Yes, about the new discovery, another is about the fossil, especially for panda fossil. In this area, we from 2003 discovered the first panda fossil.
Yeah.
And then until this year, we found more than 40 panda fossil in the caves. Why panda fossil and are all in the caves in here in this area is very important. It's very interesting. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Zhou. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you. See you. And with so many joint efforts of international researchers, and they have found more new discoveries and new results in the joint expedition of Shuanghe Cave. And local tourism has also developed a lot because of Shuanghe Cave. Let's find out what the benefits of Shuanghe Cave has bring to local people. Today we are very honored to have one director of the business department of Suiyang Shuanghe Cave National Geopark to join us and tell us more details of local development. Mr. Kwang, welcome. 黄科长，欢迎您。 特别感谢您来参加我们今天的直播。Thank you for joining us today.
非常高兴。
Thank you. So could you tell us some details about our local development, especially the tourism development in recent years, and how can we balance the development of tourism between our cave protection? 您能给我们介绍一下咱们近些年来双河洞在推动当地的这个经济发展以及旅游业的发展当中，我们取得了怎样的一个效果？然后我们是怎么平衡这种旅游开发和洞穴保护的呢？
我们双河洞国家地质公园现在建设有双河洞景区、地下裂缝景点和那个惠山谷养生温泉景点。
In recent years, the tourist scenic spots have been settled in Shuanghe scenic places, including the Great Canyon of the Shuanghe Cave, and also including a hot spring tourist scenic spot.
2017年双河洞揭碑开园，也就当年入住率这个客人就达到20万左右。
And in 2017, these scenic places has opened to the public, and also it has attracted thousands of people come to visit here.
我们双河洞国家地质公园在开发建设后，我们在2018年举揭碑开园旅游地穴文化村，然后呢，这个旅游地穴文化村呢，就是让老百姓增收致富。在这一个阶段呢，我们实施这个双河洞100家。
And in 2018, Shuanghe Cave has been nominated to the geopark and also the village, which is famous for its karst landforms. And this place has ever since benefited local people to live a better life. Okay, thank you for joining us today. Thank you. 谢谢您今天参加我们的直播。
谢谢。
Thank you.
谢谢。
We also hope that through an in-depth and continuous joint research by the joint effort of international and also Chinese scientific researchers, we can better utilize and protect those precious karst cave resources and benefit local people's life. And that's all for today's Xinhua Live. Thank you for joining us. I'll see you next time.